Guys, success! I did it! You know what? We're going to start over. We're gonna pretend that we're pretending that none of that happened. And none of that happened. We're starting over because I now remember how to do the things. Thank you, internet, my beloved. Every day you let me learn something new about my life and the universe. So thank you, Mossingblade, for the "you are not an idiot" button. Not an idiot in general location. However, I feel like I deserve to be an idiot, and sometimes that happens. Alright, dead dude. Where are you? You're so close, random guy. Looks like you're chilling out in the gardens. Now we can get some actual things done. Alright, 63 meters away. You're like right underneath me. You're right underneath me. Yeah. We're going down. Ah, there you are. Thanks, Moss. I think that everybody should have the opportunity to be an idiot. There's nothing more freeing than having no idea what you're doing whatsoever. Alright. Hello. You also have a tit window, except you have the man boobs. You've got the middies. Hello, who are you? Yuri Knight.
Investigation freak.
You are the famous investigation freak?
Sure.
I don't believe you've ever met before. Yuri Knight, secretary to the architect and the fairy woman's handler. Born in the marble chambers on island sequence 15, under the sign of Dire Rose. Yuri is new to the Syndicate and has quickly risen through the ranks.
Pathetic.
I can't believe in our darkest hour that Judge called on you. Oh, do you hate me? Let's be nice. Let's be nice to the good-looking man who has issues apparently. I understand you're secretary to Architect Camelina and Lydia's handler during her fairy woman
What
duties.
business is it of yours?
Did you manage to deduce that? I'm not a fan of this sprite. It's the little, like, hand above his face. He's like, I am too good for you. Let's do this. I think I'm making a few other deductions about you as it happens.
What?
Deduction number 1. You are an asshole. I was raised better than to tell you that you are an asshole. However, I will be thinking it. Don't put too much faith in how you were raised, freak. It can hold you back. Why does someone with such a good aesthetic so mean? You broke free, didn't you?
Worthless.
My parents were cowards. I'm not. It's not a big mystery to solve. Oh, and he has daddy issues. Let's get to business. What do you want?
When love died,
No
all
mention
that
of
remains all
grieving
the
for our
Don't
loss.
make me laugh.
Grieving is a sign of weakness. I am a manly man. I only do manly things. I said let's get to business. Stop dragging this out. Alright. You know what? It's case files. Let's go and look. Let's have a full interrogation of you. First things first, Henry, who I feel like I should go and talk to next. Do you believe Henry did this?
Insufferable.
What an insufferable question.
Yes.
Of course he did it. The Grand Marshal has him in custody. And as you all know, whoever the police arrests, they definitely did it. No bias here. Nothing will go wrong.
That's weird.
No suspicions of anyone
You
else.
got nothing on me.
The islands are full of schemers. You know this. Want to drop anyone in it, Yuri? Dish the dirt on someone? What?
Who?
Who's got a motive to kill the council?
Please.
The killer is in a cell waiting to be
I
executed.
have a bad feeling about this.
Let's say he isn't the killer. He is. It's a thought experiment, Yuri. Play along. If Henry didn't kill the council, who else has motive?
Free.
Final play along. You should investigate Crimson. You know what? I already like her way better than I like you, but please. Tell me why you don't like Goat Lady Our Beloved. You gave that name up pretty easily.
Insufferable.
I've had my suspicions for a while.
Why?
Oh, so pathetic.
Something sits wrong with her. Why did she get blessed? What would stop her wanting more power now that she is blessed? She's too smug. Oh, as if you're pot kettle,
That's
man.
strange.
That seems tenuous.
The investigation freak.
You're the investigation freak. Investigate. Okay. You know what? I'll make a note about that. However, I do not take you seriously, and I hope you should know that. Right, so
Where?
last night. Where were you last night?
Huh.
I was directing the fairy woman all night. Alibi. Popped up with full alibi and everything. From where? Here in the celebratory gardens.
Ooh, the investigator is here.
You often work in the gardens? It is. This guy's like detective work? Cringe. And our hearts, we simply know who the murderer is. It's like, okay.
Worthless.
Okay. My work last night didn't require a desk, and the gardens are beautiful when an island is ending. I'm just like, wow, the end of the world. Sexy. Any proof?
Freak.
No freak. The gardens aren't covered by logs, unlike the HQ.
Crime cannot hide.
Give me your phone.
What?
Sure.
I need to verify your location last night. You would have been making calls with it if you were directing Lydia.
No.
I'm under no obligation to give you my phone. I have important work to do with it. I don't know, sounds a little suspicious.
Don't test me.
Not until I finish my important work, you don't.
The investigator is here.
I have jurisdiction here. I'm the investigator Judge called on. You are obliged to insist my investigation, or I will haul you in front of Judge for obstruction. If you don't give me your phone, I will also assume that you have something to hide.
Don't be snide with me.
Fine, whatever. Yuri's phone. Thanks, it's mine forever now. I'm never giving it back, simply because you're an asshole. That wasn't so hard, was it? Just do what you need to do and bring
I'm
it
glad
back.
to be back.
I just need to use the comms tower to verify the location of any calls made from this phone. Then you can have it back after the trial. Alright. Missing. What do you know about KHX's disappearance? He hasn't been seen for a few days. Probably sleeping off a hangover? He was one of your old drinking crew, wasn't he?
Don't test me.
Isn't a missing Syndicate member something of a concern from one of the people responsible for getting the Syndicate off the island?
No.
I can only work with what I have. If he doesn't want to be picked up by the fairy woman, I can't help it. He's his own man.
That's strange.
No concern or empathy? Do you have any feelings besides masculine pride?
Pathetic.
What do you want from me? I can't care about everybody. It's exhausting. I mean, sure. Ugh, guys, don't you hate it when you have feelings? Cringe. So let's talk about Crimson since you don't like her.
Insufferable.
Ooh, you think she's a traitor? Give me all the deets. Yes,
What
traitor.
business is it of yours?
She peddles her secrets and destabilizes the Syndicate. As she deserves. You worried she's got something on you?
Don't make me laugh.
Has she got a motive for killing the council? She has her own secrets. I'm sure she isn't happy about people knowing.
Don't be snide with me.
She wants to play soldiers again. She won't accept her new role and wants to run around with a sword and gun fighting demons. If the next island is perfect, there won't be any more demonic invasions. I think she's trying to destabilize the island so she can have another go at playing soldier. Fry. Jealousy. You sure this isn't just about her blessing?
Huh?
What about it?
Got it.
You're jealous.
You've got nothing on me.
Your deductive skills have let you down, freak.
Sure.
I don't think they have. Alright, the second holy seal. Anything to tell me about this? What do you know about the second holy seal? We don't know about the seals, freak. That's literally their whole point. No one knows shit about that. I feel like I might have to talk to the demon for that. Did you see the architect last night?
What business is it of yours?
I saw the architect before I started my duties with the fairy woman. You should ask her about the time of the murder, though. I was here. Did you see Crimson? I mean, Crimson said no one would see
Talking
Crimson.
about?
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? I knew she was ready to pick up, but I left her until the end. She hates it here, and I had the power to make her wait a little longer, so I did. You are a piece of work. Alright, witness. Right, yep.
Don't make me laugh.
You're the architect's assistant. Arrange her appointments and make sure that she can carry out her work without being obstructed by anyone else on the island, including you. Alright, who killed the Holy Soul Naturals? Do you know anything about the murder of the Martial Guards outside of the council building? I don't know anything, investigator. I wasn't there. Wow, you are so unhelpful. Like, zero help is what you are. What do you know about the escape last night?
Don't be naive, freak.
What would I know? You are not helpful at all. However, I will hang out with you. I'm going to bond with everyone on this goddamn island. And then you're going to tell me your secrets, and I'm going to take you to prison about them.
What do you want, freak?
You weren't part of the Syndicate before I was exiled.
What?
Is that a statement or a question? A question. Then phrase it like a question. God, he's a dick. Smug face.
What the hell?
You're serious. Is that a statement or question? Jesus, man. Okay. What's your history with the Syndicate?
Worthless.
I was born to low-ranking Syndicate members, barely footnotes in our history. They say children naturally rebel against their parents. I am evidence. They were content to wallow in obscurity, and now I am secretary to the architect. Oh yeah, secretary. The respectful job. Although no, actually no, nothing wrong. Secretaries are a very important job, important business. However, this guy's an asshole.
No.
No, thank you. Sorry? I'm not interested in talking with you about myself anymore.
Freak.
Goodbye, freak.
This has been delightful.
The pain and then this has been delightful. The relationship increased. Should it? Should it increase? Should it increase? I don't think it should. I love these greetings. May you see through a million eyes. And may you reach the moon. Everyone gives Lovejoy reach the moon. Alright. So here are all the notes and investigation. There are a lot. I think first I want to talk to the marshal. Makes sense. Where is she? These people I haven't spoken to yet. Oh, and Camilla. Camilla's closer. I'll ask Camilla about, I guess, Akiko. See, what's your relationship like? Are you guys bros? Did you maybe do some murder together? I don't know. Seems like you two would have a lot to gain from working together. There's nothing that does not go anywhere. Every day the city is a maze. The gardens. Alright. Camilla, where did you go? I'm further away. Alright, see, I was trying to go up here, but it looks like there's just the entrance to this building and then nothing else. Nope, there's fully a path over here. I can navigate these fictional environments. Camilla, get your ass over here. Camilla, you're close. I can feel you, and my senses, my robot senses are tingling. Where did you go? Camilla, where did you go? Where did you go? You were 50 feet away. Are you underneath me? Ah, there you are. 36 feet this way. Alright, so it looks like she's probably underneath me. Is there a down? Does this go down? Oh. Alright, let's see what's in here.
Senior investigation.
The Syndicate OS. Vampiric murder report. A confidential report about victims of vampiric attacks. Okay. Anything else that I can click on? That's all I can see. I feel like it should let me click more. The Dr. Doom Jazz Clinic. Nothing else. None of this machinery is of any interest to you. Really? I mean, okay. I want to look at the vampire murder report. Fine. This is a classified report about vampiric murders on the island. Obviously we have vampires, because why the fuck wouldn't we have vampires?
Sure.
5 victims killed by what appeared to be a vampire.
I have a bad
The last
feeling
victim was
about
found on the
this.
beach and was the only one to have any trace of the perpetrator's saliva on them.
The truth is
The perp was ID'd and arrested by the marshals. A citizen.
Ooh, the investigator is here.
The cause of vampirism was unknown. Nice. That's a new thing to investigate. Alright, down. Should I just jump over? Nope, that's just, there's nothing over there to jump. It's underneath this and then over to the left, I believe. I do not see an underneath. Oh, this way? Whoa. Well, I fell off a cliff.
Oh.
Honestly, good. Love Dies must have excellent calves because, like, damn. Just gonna jump off cliffs to get faster to places. I'll talk to this doctor then. Because I may have accidentally fallen right next to him. No. Up, up, up. Every day we fall into abysses. Right. Let's see, is there a good... a good way back over there? I do not see one at the moment. Ah. Every day we fall. We're just on the roofs of buildings. Nothing can stop us. We're in the barracks now. In the apartments. And forward we go. Skeleton Man. That's a good design. Maybe we should go attack the Skeleton Man. This isn't like chocolate. I keep falling down and then getting stuck in the city. I do not need to use this like that. Fuck you. Alright, is there an up? There is an up! So grateful to be here with the ability to scale walls. Jump! Come on. I know we can be bouncy. We cannot. We will just fall down again. Fall to the death. Alright. Now that I have the thingy, I can start doing fast travel stuff. Alrighty. Can I question you from in here? Don't need that. Get myself back up here by the council. Yeah. Speeding up. Alright. And now we will not fall off any cliffs while we go and talk to people. As is our right. I feel like if I had ankles as strong as this lady had ankles, I would just constantly be dropping off of everything. Just my entire life would be running and jumping to extreme heights, just to show off. What are you? Lost Pain. He escaped the moon's dark side during the Great Betrayal. He is trying to drain the moon's power to complete his resurrection. We need to deal with him before that happens. Just all the lore that's just here in the corner. Red crest obtained. Ah, another red crest. I had. Where was I looking for those? I'm looking for them close-ish. There was like that one pile of little red dots. Yes, here we go. Placing a double crest. So it looks like we've got a fair amount of them on here. But okay, you are right over there. I will go up here. Alright. Party Cruise Boatman. All cool guys live on yachts. Dr. Doomjazz.
Lady Love dies.
As gorgeous as you were 3 million days ago. Dr. Doomjazz, the Syndicate's head doctor, if you couldn't tell from the get-up. Born in the Cannon Fortress, Scotland, in AD 988, under the sign of cosmic deceit. Growing up during a military campaign, Doomjazz longed to become a doctor to tend to the wounded. He snuck onto the haunted Ziggurat Medical School and studied in the library after hours. He became their top student and battlefield medic. He was captured during the Great Betrayal, losing his arms in a torture chamber before being rescued by Eyes Kiwami. The two fled to join the Syndicate.
Doctors and nurses.
And Starlight, the perfect pair. You know what? Yeah, this guy's been nice to me. I missed the Doomjazz Charm Offensive.
I've missed you, Love Dies.
And I've missed the Love Die Sass. How have you been? Still the same old Doomjazz?
It's not nice.
It's been just swell down here. I assume you got the memo about last night. Something like that.
Theoretically.
I presume you're here on business and not for something nicer.
The investigator is here.
Correct. I've got a job to do down
The
here.
island is about to end.
How unfortunate.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You're in high spirits considering our leader and council have been
The
murdered.
island is about to end.
We all deal with grief in different ways. Do not be mistaken, I am well aware that this is a catastrophe. I deal with my grief by prepositioning everyone within a 5-mile radius. I'm just not one for outwardly displaying misery. What's your take on the Syndicate on this?
Theoretically.
Keep myself to myself. I'm not interested in the schemes. It's exhausting. Drama and politics and drugs. It's best not to get hooked. That's a medical opinion.
Like this.
I think shirts are illegal. This is the true reason. This is the true reason why Lady Love Dies was exiled. It's because she's covered up her whole chest. That tells me all I need to know about the state of this place. Anything else I can help you with? Alright. Let's see. His pose is like, look at my chest! Look at my skulls on my chest! You know what? at least you're more fun than the other guy. Henry. You think Henry did this, Doc?
Haha!
You read my report.
That's it.
Not yet. Go and see Agiko and the prisoner. I left my report with her for
Oh.
you. That didn't answer my question.
Cringe.
It's all I can tell you. Did you just say cringe? I don't speculate on suspicions and hunches. I'm looking for facts. Ah, me too, King. Can you make an exception for me?
What?
You only speak to me when you want something. Love dies, it hurts. I have a job to do. Just doing my job. There's a mass murder that needs solving. I mean, in case you've forgotten with your yacht. I'm not going to speculate. You can bring anything you want to me for my fact-based
Love
opinion,
dies.
though. What do you think about it?
The facts and the truth are not
It's a
the
nice
same.
story. People like to believe the easiest answer that fits their worldview.
Sure.
Doctor diagnoses Lady Love dies with cringe. We kidnap citizens and force them to pray to genocidal gods. Of course the Syndicate would believe that one of the vile working class would do this. Have you considered your
I don't
society? What the
like
fuck is up
this.
with that? There's something else at work here.
Haha!
Well, at least you have a working theory.
Who?
Can you think of anyone that has got motive?
Haha!
That's a biggie. Such a terrible crime.
Investigator.
I'm afraid I don't know anything about it. Everyone is as innocent or as guilty as each other. Okay, King. Yeah, the corner of this murder case is like, why do you only talk to me when you need my information? Don't you love me? Look at my abs. What's your motive, Doc?
What?
I haven't got a motive and I'm insulted you asked.
Got it.
Everyone has a motive, they just haven't thought hard enough. Why would you do a murder? Don't most investigators quote philosophers at this point in the conversation?
Don't test me.
Quoting is a crutch for the weak. Learn to have your own thoughts.
I'm worried.
What if your thoughts aren't as good as a philosopher's? Good doesn't matter. What matters is that they're yours.
Fabulous.
I've missed these chats, Love Dies. Thanks, King. You know what? You're being so helpful. Where were you at the time of the murder?
What?
I was in my clinic until I was called to examine Henry. He was found outside the council building. Blood everywhere. I checked him over. Akiko has my report for you. Go and see her if you haven't already. Yes, I will. I've been planning on it.
Haha!
The Syndicate building logs should confirm my alibi. I've already seen them. They confirm your claim. They do. That doesn't mean you weren't involved in a greater conspiracy. Did you see Yuri last night? Yuri Night last night? I didn't see him. Alright. Let's see. Asking about everyone. Ooh, yes. Is there a database of DNA or blood samples of everyone on the island? You want to learn some blood? Wish I could help. Just after the crisis meeting last night, parts of the central server started
I don't
corrupting.
like this.
That's convenient,
Investigator.
isn't it? I became aware of it because the terminal in my lab does an automated backup in the early hours. I got a report that the backup failed. I took a look at it, and part of the medical archive had corrupted.
Oh.
Gone. Poof. Yeah, everyone did the murder together because their society is so incredibly fucked and they deserve to die, honestly. I'm fine with that. What about the backup of the server central on the moon?
I'm a professional.
That went down as well. The corruption spread. Not to all of the moon database. I can still access most of the files on there. Where is the server on the island? In the caverns under the island. Masahiro Heavy Industries maintains it. The only entrance into the cavern is via the Deep Factory, and that's underwater.
That's weird.
Why? The Deep Factory is shut down on the end of the island. Only 4 people can unlock it. Council member back in Origin ran Masahiro, but her dead body is up in the council penthouse. Same with Pandora too. She ran Dead Nebula and the Deep Factory. Nicolina Rose is second in command of Dead Nebula, but they're on the next island. Lydia took them early on. And Balthazar Tears, these goddamn names, was Megan's assistant at Masahiro, but he's on the next island as well. I'll go to the 25th island and bring Nicolina and Balthazar back, and they can open up the deep factory so I can find out what the hell is going on with that
Indeed.
server. Not so fast, Love Dies. No one leaves this island. Judge's orders. Besides, you need Lydia to take you to the next island, and she's on your list of suspects, right? So what do I do about the server? Two options. Chalk it up to bad luck and coincidence, or let it fuel a dreadful, all-consuming conspiracy. I'll go for the second one.
My favorite investigator.
Keep on trucking! Did you examine the dead guards at the first Holy Seal? Nope. Akiko wouldn't let— That's so suspicious, man.
What the hell?
Why? She said that's military jurisdiction. She didn't want the corpses of her soldiers disrespected with the post-mortem. That's so sus! Even though there could be evidence—
Hypothetically?
My theory. It continues to be proven. In her mind, she's already got this case solved. Henry's behind bars and he
The
clearly did it.
investigator is here.
Do you believe that?
I'm a professional.
I'm not much into beliefs, Lady Love Dies. I'm waiting to see what truth you find. And my medical opinion, I offer 0 opinions. Tell me about the inhibitors used to sedate Henry. Masahiro Heavy Industries tech. Drugs that sedate the body and inhibit psychic ability. They were designed specifically for victims of demonic possession. Calm the body and mind and stop them from lashing out. Henry's dosage level has been correct for the last decade. Do you know if anything can interfere with Henry's inhibitors? This is so sad because all I can think of when I hear inhibitors in a fantasy society is heat inhibitors. Anyway, moving on. You're not the first person to ask, Love Dies.
This
Who?
is bad.
Witness. Witness is responsible for overseeing the end of an island and ensuring it all goes smoothly. He's obsessed with fail points in the process. He got worried that Henry could be a fail point. Could he get loose on the end? He's executed and not part of the slaughter ritual with the other citizens. There's a time when he's out of his cage before he's executed. Akiko handles execution, so he's in safe hands. But Witness got obsessed with the inhibitors that keep Henry sedated.
Ooh, the investigator is here.
Are they a fail point?
Hypothetically?
Possibly, but you'd have to get past the Grand Marshal. You need a massive spike of adrenaline, and the only way I can think of to provide that would be an injection. Could someone have done that? Adrenaline is manufactured by the body. You need a drug to deduce it artificially. His blood work came back clean, though. No one gave him that drug. Thank you. You're helpful. Should always talk to the medical people first. What do you know about K.A. Jakes' disappearance? I heard he was missing. Keeps to himself, so I don't see him a lot. You went up to his place up on the cliffs. And no, I haven't, thank you. Right. See anyone? Yes, we already had that. You didn't see her because no one saw her. And Witness was the architect. Alright. The second Holy Seal. What do you know about the second Holy Seal? Not a thing. No one knows shit about this. Council business. Alright, fine. You wanna hang out? Before you were all pissy that I only talk to you about investigations. Got a sec, Doc?
I've got all the time in the world for you.
You know that.
I've missed you, Love Dies.
It's been so long since we spent time together. You still a wine and whiskey woman? Not a lot of either in the Idlelands. Want a glass with me? Enjoy the island for a few minutes before getting back to all that murder? I've got a bottle of Freedom Letter over there. Yes, come on, let's have a time. I'd love a glass, just a small one.
Fabulous.
That's the
Lady
spirit.
Love Dies.
How's it feel to be investigating again?
Time to breathe life back into paradise.
I am there. Indeed it
Got
is!
it.
How has the doctor been since I last saw
I've
him?
got all the time in the world.
Keeping entertained, you know. It's a small island, but there's always a way to have fun.
Sure.
I'm sure there is.
Haha!
Only one way to find out. Thanks for the proposition, King. Should I flirt back with him? He's kind of fun. Yeah, let's fucking go. I like
To
him.
investigate.
Do you want to be a suspect in an out of hours investigation?
Fabulous.
You can come around to open my case file anytime. Thanks, King. Maybe you've got some time right now? Each second I spend here allows the truth to slink further into the shadows. Paradise can't wait, huh? Feel free to swing by anytime. I'll keep that in mind.
It's been wonderful to see
I
you.
have been enraptured by. I love this doctor. Just smart, flirty motherfucker. Besotted, enthralled. Where's this going? I understand the key to your heart is information. You desire the unknown. You desire to know about people.
You've got this wrong.
Maybe there's something I can help you with. Probe? Not like that. I don't know why I said it like that. Ignore that. You said you might be able to help me.
I had nothing to do with this.
Love dies. You've charmed me. Despite the tragedy of last night, this island is infinitely more radiant now that you're here. Because it's you and I can't get you out of my head, I'll break some ethics. Because you have so many of those. I've treated witness for death screen trauma. Sounds terrible. He started complaining of being able to hear screaming on occasion. We had no idea what the cause was, but it kept happening. I eventually narrowed it down to psychic death screams. You know, as one suffers. Headaches? That a fancy name for headaches? Me. I don't get migraines. I get psychic death screams. New canon. Something like that. When someone dies, they involuntarily emit a death scream in a burst of psychic energy. Normally you can't hear them, but he'd become attuned to them because of all the murder he watched. How? That's still a mystery. I don't know if we'll ever know. He attributes it to the gods' angers. He's all doom and gloom about us not doing enough to please the gods. He's taking it as one of the many signs on the end times. Yes. What treatment does he take? High-strength migraine relief. That's the only thing that's worked. Alright, yeah. It's canon, guys. I suffer from psychic scream disorder. What about during the citizen slaughter ritual at the end of an island? Surely that would be overwhelming. That's different. The priest conducting the ritual channeled the psychic energy released by the slaughter into energy for the gods, obviously. It's dissipated away from the island.
Sure.
Does anyone else suffer from it? We had a case on Island 15. A Syndicate member killed themselves because they kept hearing them. But no one else on this island? Not in the way Witness does. I think demons can probably feel them. Every demon we've encountered has always been attuned to psychic energy. Would this include the demonically possessed?
Theoretically.
Probably, but I can't say for sure. How would it affect them? I'd imagine a spike in adrenaline. Well, yeah, he would have need like a shit ton of adrenaline to break free. No drugs in his bloodstream. Yeah, well, maybe there was this, King. Anything else about Witness?
I had nothing to do with this.
I've been worried about his mental health.
I'm a professional.
He's become secretive and guarded. It's manifesting in the standard ways, but multiple appointments with him have been interrupted by phone calls. He won't take a call with someone in the room and always steps out to his balcony. Other people have reported the same thing. Who? Architect Carmelina. She started noticing it several years ago. She's worried that he was slipping into paranoia. I think he's well past slipping into paranoia, let's be real. Why are you suddenly telling me this? It's been playing on my mind. I've been thinking about last night and the lunatics we have at the island. Then the heaven sent an angel to come and question me. Thanks, we're gonna ignore that. You've been invaluable. Remember to hurry on back if you need an examination or anything. Wink, wink, wonk, wonk. Bye, King. May the cosmos be a mystery. And may you reach the moon. Alright. Should I go and try to find a witness? Maybe? Or there are people I haven't spoken to yet that I should be going to speak to. I keep feeling like I'm going to go and visit. I keep feeling like I'm gonna go and visit the marshal, and then getting a side torn off to the side by various amounts of bullshittery. The back door to Doom Jazz's
Is this
clinic.
a fact or a truth?
This should be covered by the Syndicate HQ logs, but the door log looks broken. That means it won't log who
I
enters and
don't
exits.
like this.
I wonder if Doom Jazz uses this. Well. Secret. Ways for him to go now. Yeah, okay, how am I gonna get back up?
Recording.
I got stuck. Thank you.
Getting saved.
Thank you for saving. You know what? Yeah.
My channel.
I'm gonna not bother. I'm not bothering. I'm not bothering going up and down.
Starlight skins obtained.
Oh, bear the Shiva Starlight skin obtained. The most wonderful dog. I wouldn't use the skin. Do you hate my dog? I'll kill you. No joke. Thanks, kid. Alright. I don't want to be up there. Where? Back to the council building. Yeah. Thank you for your invaluable transportation service. Camilla, who needs to talk to a witness, and then all the people I haven't spoken to yet. I should ask Camilla about the phone calls, and then I should go and confirm witnessing on it. I say still haven't talked to the marshal. It's fine. Everything is fine. Bye, Gwen. Have fun at work. Go and kill that job. Destroy capitalism. You know how it is. Right, I think I'm gonna need to bounce around and up via this way. That's rough, buddy. Leader Montserrat, may the silent goat always
I have
walk
a bad
with you.
feeling about this.
I'll find who did this, leader. I mean, yes, but do we even care? Hey,
What do you want, freak?
can I come in? Yeah, I want to speak with
Are
Carmelita.
you still investigating?
Yes, I'm still investigating.
Don't test me.
It's like, come on, man. Every single time I go and I talk to my friend, my beloved architect friend. Okay. Ooh, I have a whole bunch more things to ask her now. All right. Talk about witness first, or no? Let's just go in order. Rewarded for work. Do you feel you aren't being rewarded for your hard work, architect?
What?
What do you mean by that?
Sure.
I have heard there's a suspicion that you feel aggrieved by all your hard work building the islands, not being rewarded with a seat on the council.
Craft is its own reward.
I do not require a reward for my craft.
How dare you?
Are you trying to build a motive for me?
I was born to investigate.
That's my job. I am building motives for literally everyone. You're going down the wrong path. Titles and power aren't my desires. Even though right now I have titles and power, and I only got them because some people died. What can you tell me about your self-imposed isolation 25 years ago?
Do your job.
I have no idea why something I did 25 years ago is any of your concern.
That's strange.
What were you doing? You said it was for a project, but no one has ever seen what came out of it. What I choose to do is nothing you need to concern yourself with. Okay.
Sure.
Are you sure you were with witness all night?
We have achieved perfection.
Yes, all night. And you didn't leave him for a moment.
Investigate.
Do you have something you wish to ask,
Is
investigator?
this a fact or a truth?
What about when Akiko called him? Didn't he leave the room? He did leave the room to take the call on his balcony. People leave the room for other reasons as well.
Do your job.
Do you wish for me to recall each time either of us went to the bathroom? I mean, if it's relevant to the investigation, yes. Did Witness look like he was in pain when the council were murdered?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know about his illness. Witness suffers greatly whenever someone dies on these islands, be they citizen or syndicate member. No wonder he's gone that. Last night he doubled over in pain, breathless in agony. He suffers so much when there is a death. So how was he besides the, doubling over in pain? He wasn't happy I was there. He seemed agitated.
Nanny, the hell?
How did this behavior manifest? His mask lets you see more than he thinks it does. Surprise, confusion,
The
worry.
investigator is here.
Do you think he was involved with the murder? That's not for me to say. I'm just trying to be helpful.
Do your job.
He is my secretary, investigator. It would be strange were I not to see him. He's a dick. Before seeing Witness. So that was before you went to Witness's apartment? Yes, we concluded our business for the day, and he left to deal with the fairy woman from the celebratory garden. Okay, thank you, Camilla. You haven't seen Crimson, no one's seen
Is its own
Crimson.
reward. We have achieved perfection.
Yep, okay. Do you know anything about the murder of the martial guards outside of the council building? Losing fine marshals to a killer like that is a tragedy. Unfortunately, I don't have any further insight for you, investigator. What do you know about the second Holy Seal? It's one of the big mysteries, isn't it, investigator? You're the architect and you don't know? Security. It's the only bit of the island I don't design.
Craft is its own reward.
It is better for the council to design their security and keep the secret to themselves. Honestly valid. Henry's escape. You should speak to the Grand Marshal investigator. She was there and has a report waiting for you. Yes, I know. I should speak to Akiko. I should speak to Akiko. I know. I'm well aware. And can I ask you something, architect? How can I help?
Sure.
This island has an air of quiet.
We have achieved perfection.
Indeed it does. There is a balance
Oh,
here.
I'm glad to be back.
Where does the balance come from? Positioning of function creates form. The functions of the island are arranged as a diamond on a compass. Everything has a place only it can have. That is apparent. An architect that is scared of function and tries to hide it away is a coward with narrow tastes. Surely it is more artistic to create form.
Do your job.
An artist that doesn't respect their tools and appreciate their canvas is no artist. One must work with everything they have and understand the facet every tool and every imperfection can bring to a piece.
Craft is its own reward.
The circumstances you find yourself in are, of course, terrible, but I do hope you enjoy your time exploring this island. Thank you for your time, architects.
I beg your pardon?
Investigator, can we discuss something of a delicate nature? Shout out for the relationship status, which lets people give you vaguely damning testimonies. Always hang out with your murder suspects, guys. Do you have something you want to tell me?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know if this is relevant, but I will disclose it. At midnight, Witness was fiddling with his
The investigator is here.
Did you see what he was doing? I didn't.
I have a bad feeling about
Midnight was
this.
when the council were murdered. We were in the middle of conversation. He abruptly took out his phone and started using it. He was tapping at it for a few seconds. Did he step out of the
I
room?
beg your pardon?
No. Why do you
Don't
ask?
test me.
That means he wasn't making a call. Or if it was, it wasn't one that was
Oh.
answered. Did he say what it was about? No. He acted like nothing happened. Thank you, architect. May the silent goat walk you, blah blah blah. May you reach the rune. That was useful. Now, I think I should go back to speak with Witness, right? Where is Witness? 167 meters away? That way. Yeah, I can find him. And then a Kiko. I keep being like, ow. Oh, wait, first, button. I sense button. Yes.
Item obtained.
A red goat quest. I do not remember where the place to stick this is, though. It was down here somewhere. It's fine. We'll figure it out later. We'll go over here so we can yell at Witness. Witnessing the end of the worlds. Bound to make you a bit unhappy, I feel. I do not care where you are. Yes, okay, he's up in his apartment. This is one we've already cracked. But, oh yes, now that we have the upgrade, we can go and break the computer code on his thing to see if he was in here. Where is that? Witness, where is your security? There it is. Establishing the connection.
Nightmare computer.
Alright. The first one. Goat time. Goat time. Alright, its ears are tiny. Yes. Ears are tiny and cute. And it's got a big face. No, not that one. It's got a face. Like that? That might work. Yes, 67. And all we need is the little ear area. Where is the other one? There we go. 100% goat decoded. Alright, Cosmos. No. Welcome to the moon. No. Yes, we just want a nice little there we go. There we go. We just want a nice little circle. Start off easy, start off good. Another goat for our trouble. Are those horns or just really big ears? I'm honestly unsure. Really big ears it is. With horns. Oh, that was easy. That was only 2 pieces. I mean, yeah. I'm so good at this. Into the cosmos we go. Half a moon. And then a little star.
Nightmare computer unlocked.
Yeah, 100% decoded.
Ooh, the investigator is here.
These are the logs of who entered and exited the building last night. Let's find out where Witness was.
Analyzing.
1734. Witness enters. 2058. Carmelina arrives and Witness buzzes her in. 2358. The God Justice Marshals arrive and secure the building. 18. Witness and Carmelina exit. 331. Witness returns. Interesting. Yeah, logs are sealed with by the nightmare computer. They can't have been tampered with. Witness and Carmelina have confirmed alibis. Doesn't mean they weren't involved. It just means they weren't the ones to do the actual murder. Witness, where are you? I know you're up here. Ah, there you are. Hello! I have some awkward questions I should be asking you. Yeah, what about your motive? Ooh, conflict with Montserrat.
Why?
Why were you butting heads with Montserrat so much?
What?
What does that have to do with anything?
I need to investigate this.
I need to know why someone was clashing with a murder victim.
Gods are displeased.
Our leader was not following the holy mission. His focus was on the island sequences and not the gods. Sounds like he was straying from the path.
The gods are radiant.
Yes! I'm glad you understand. Our first priority is to prostrate ourselves before the gods. Let's build ourselves a nice home.
The gods are displeased.
If our islands fail, then that is the will of the gods. If we trust in them, we will be
I
saved.
don't like this.
Did that make you angry enough to kill?
Of course not.
I know you must ask these questions, but it pains me to hear you question my loyalty and faith.
Paradise feels wrong.
You voted against every proposal he put forward, didn't you? That is the point of our democratic meetings. We all have a say on the direction of the Syndicate. His direction veered away from our holy mission. I voiced my disagreement
Got
with
it.
it. What kind of proposals were they?
What?
Advancement towards the so-called perfect 25. I don't care about our new home being perfect if the gods are not there to celebrate with us.
What?
Look out to the ocean of madness. So many pyramids sit
The
empty.
gods are watching us.
24 island sequences and we only have one pyramid resident. We are capable of so much more.
Why?
Why haven't we done
City.
more? Montserrat had other plans. Grand resurrections could wait until the island sequences were
The
solved.
gods are displeased.
What is the point of Perfect 25 if the gods remain in pain? I wanted to remind Montserrat of the Syndicate's purpose, so I voted against everything he and the rest of the council put forward.
Paradise
I was like,
feels
fuck you in
wrong.
particular. Did you remind him with a knife by any chance? Absolutely not.
Why?
Why have you started taking calls in private?
What?
Why is this anyone's business? Are you hiding something? Plotting something?
Of course not.
Don't be ridiculous. Fine, but just you better know that I know. We all know. Oh, we have a lot of things.
Got it.
I checked your building logs. Your story
I
checks
have
out.
been bathed in the
Of
glory
course it
the
does. The
gods.
righteous have nothing to hide.
Why?
Why were you irritated to see Carmelina?
What?
Is that what she told you? I was surprised. It is unlike her to do a social call.
Why?
Why do you think she interpreted that as irritation?
Another sinner.
I believe she wanted to gloat about the perfect next island, but I wasn't in the mood to fawn over her achievements. We have different views on the rush to perfection. What were you doing with your phone at midnight?
What?
I wasn't doing anything with it. I was talking with the architect.
Sure.
The architect told me you interrupted your conversation to do something with your phone. Everyone fiddles with their phone. Not everyone does it at the exact moment the council were murdered.
Who?
Who were you calling?
What?
I didn't call anyone.
Strange.
Then what were you doing? Absolutely nothing. If I did do something, I don't remember. It was completely inconsequential.
I don't
Punch her.
like this.
We'll see about that.
Crime cannot hide.
Tell me about the moment the council died. I know you suffer from psychic death screams.
This island is full of sinners.
Doomjazz can't be trusted with patient confidentiality around you. Yes, every time a person dies, I am assailed by their psychic death scream echoing out into space. Doomjazz prescribed me medication for it. Did you suffer from death screen trauma when they died? Yes. I was assailed by the psychic death screens of council. I was brought to my knees by the pain. Well, that's what Kamala said. That's what was said. Right, did you see Yuri? Yes, okay. Doomjazz told me that you asked about overcoming Henry's
The
inhibitors.
gods are watching us.
The end of an island is endlessly fascinating. A symphony of finales all hanging in the balance.
What?
Having a demonically possessed prisoner is a significant risk. I need to know everything there is to know.
Don't test me.
So you weren't trying to find out how to overcome them to help Henry escape?
I am still bathed in
Don't
the
be
glory of the
ridiculous.
gods.
How would that help our holy mission? Right, okay. Doctor took me to his clinic all night. And since I'm here, do you want to just vibe? You want to hang out? I must warn you that I am not one for long conversations. How are your plants,
The
witness?
gods are watching us.
They do well in the climate of paradise. When the world is coming apart, it is good to have a hobby. Would you like one? I like to give them to people. They are difficult to care for.
The gods are radiant.
They are a test sent from the gods. If we fail to look after them, they will die. If they all die, then we all die. The plants need our time and devotion. So do our gods. Yes, I will take a plant. Absolutely. Maddening rare
Gods are
plant.
radiant.
This plant has been freshly fertilized and watered. It comes from an esoteric plateau from my home in Iran. It will survive for a while without constant attention. Once you finish your investigation, it will provide something to focus on. Thank you, witness. Maddening rare plant. Thank you for the plant. I mean, like, I deserve more. I deserve more hobbies, I feel like, than just running around asking about murders. I was trapped on an island for such a long time. May you fly with destroyed Eden,
The end times are near.
and may you reach the moon. Alright. So the thing I'm wondering about that thing is that we give different polite send-offs to everyone. But we always get may you reach the moon and return. Where is the elevator? King, where's your elevator? I'm wondering if that's a specific to our character, or if that is a love die thing. Am I just gonna there it is. If that is a love die thing, or if just whenever you give someone that sort of response, you get sort of like esoteric-y, vaguely religious response that they are obligated to respond with that. Alright, let's see. So, I need to talk with Akiko. That has been the thing that just kept coming up. It's Akiko and Henry that I need to go and have conversations with, who are definitely very much a part of this whole shebang. Oh, I should save. Saving game. Cute little paradise island. Nothing goes wrong here. We don't sacrifice our citizens to angry gods or whatever. And let us just romp around. I haven't seen Shinji at all today. Where did he go? So many meters away. Why do you have to live on the other side of the island? Can I go up? No, this is the electronic lock. The power switch. One day I will be able to get around here. And oh, I wonder if that's on the way is it Henry's apartment? No. It was the missing syndicate. A cave something. I bet I have the location of where his apartment is in my notes, because I did just find that out. Can I get up? I cannot get up! Every day I try to work around. Okay, wait, no, yes, we got this. Yeah, let's just bop on up. And now we're on the correct side of this. And forward we go. Towards our lovely military captain, who falls in love with like all of the soldiers. Ooh, what's this? The work schedule for the river power station. The station helps distribute energy from the reality folding drive. Ooh, there was somebody here who saw something, wasn't there? The night of the murder. Give me money. If video games has taught me anything, it's always look in people's trash can, just in case. Alright, what do you do? What did I do? Turned on the power station. I hear some sizzling. That just locked me out of something. I hope not. That would have been sad. And a little bit pathetic. Okay. Oh, you're fine. Buy more drinks. Where? Is she across the ocean? Can I just swim across? Yeah. Alright, losers. I'm going for a swim. Off to them. Nope, I respawned. Off to the eyes of the god. How do I get over there? Who else is over there? Is Lydia also over there? Do I need to get to drag myself over there? Need to hire a... Okay, what about you? Do you say anything? How do I get to Akiko? Hey, bitch. I'm just gonna go through here. Bars on the printing bits have been destroyed.
Got it.
Presume this is how Henry got out. The Desolation Cell is connected to the mainland by this bridge. There's some residue. I'll run it through Starlight. Beep, 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 beep. Residue sample. 68.7% thermite. 29% barium nitrite. 2% sulfur. 0.3% polybutadiene acrylonitrile. No traces of unknown chemicals found. Starlight says this is thermite. It doesn't seem to be demonic in
The
nature.
investigator is here.
Someone may have melted through these bars on purpose. Or, alright, is Henry closer? If Henry might just be in here. That might be easier to... This door leads to the barracks. It's a secure tunnel to the Desolation Cell where Henry is incarcerated. And is coded only to Akiko's blood vial. Make a note of that. Marshall. Leave. Wow, thanks, King. You're as always you're so helpful. And we value your contributions to society. Military men. Alright, where's the other one of these? Not even close. It looks like this. Where's the parallel? Big goat head. Where's... There we go. Every day we are here, we make little goats. We make tiny little goats. I love how this is the way it's decoded. It's like, the gods. Goat in nature. Yes. Where is you other? We are so good at this minigame. Last one. So here's the skull. And then we just need the little cutie horns. Alright, tell me. Tell me what I want to know. Ah. That would be helpful, yes. Leave, fine. At least I know how to get there now. I was just kind of meandering before. I was like, how? How do I ascend this great divide? Oh wait, I have sprint. I should be sprinting. Well, yeah, it's time to run. Every single second is another second. Evidence can be covered up. Go, 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 go. Can't connect to music system. Interesting. Although it's still sound design, it just sounds vaguely ominous. Alright. Is this a save point? I'm saving. Everything here is a little bit terrifying. I assume this is where the assume this is where Akiko has Henry. Yeah. They're both here. So I guess we'll just talk to both of them, and then that'll be a good place to end today's session. Today's session. Oh, hello. Why is everybody in this game so hot? It's unfair.
What the hell?
Pardon? I'm calling you something unspeakable in my native.
Oh, I'm glad to be back.
Good to see you again, Akiko. Grand Marshal Akiko, 14. born in Mihai, Romania in AD 991 under the sign of New Night. The Grand Marshal recruits, trains, and leads her marshals in any military activity the Syndicate performs. Akiko was born an orphan in Mihai, Romania during the reign of the gods. He was drafted into the army of New Night as Damned Harmony's forces pushed across Eastern Europe. At age 13, she was leading guerrilla operations after excelling at hand-to-hand and weapons-based combat. That is an unfortunate childhood you had there. I'm just gonna grab some water 1 sec. When the Great Betrayal happened, she fled to join the Syndicate. New Night had given her a home and a purpose. She had no intention of forsaking her god. Too much loyalty. Loyalty to the point where you were a child soldier queen. I think you should have a little bit of spite about that. I'll brief you on the murder. Compliant. Play along. You know,
I
yeah.
have a bad feeling about this.
Suspected murderer. We haven't had the trial yet. Everyone gets a fair shake.
Dracului din gură.
Angry. Which means?
Rahat.
Shut the hell up! Henry Division has been incarcerated for a decade. Before his incarceration, he was arrested multiple times for arson, robbery, assault, and attempted celestial rituals. He had been under watch by his school and served a short jail time for attempting to communicate with the gods in a failed ritual. 1 year later, he succeeded in communicating with the gods. Demons poured in through the psychic pathways he opened. Henry was possessed by a demon and killed his mother in their apartment. We arrested him, but he had already tainted the island. We sealed off the area around his apartment, the concrete sarcophagus over the dead zone. Henry resisted arrest and murdered our chief exorcist, Grace Bloodlines. He's been kept here in the desolation cell, full of inhibitors ever since. So, how did he escape? I removed him from his cell and took him to the ritual stone. The blood pools in the recesses of the stone and stops the tainted liquid from touching the island. That Labeju took his chance when I opened the cell. He pushed me aside and then he was gone. This was at 2352. Lack of injuries.
Like this.
You appear uninjured. This is Masahiro Heavy Industries Bleeding Edge Shikagawa Power Armor.
Don't test me.
The armor wasn't enough to stop a citizen? When you faced a demon in battle, you get to comment.
Sure.
Freak. How did Henry get a murder weapon? He took my combat knife. When he escaped in the struggle, he grabbed my knife. Did he attack you? No, he took it and ran. Where did you find him? Outside the council building at 03. He was passed out. The demon did its work and left him broken. He had the knife with him. I attempted to secure the crime scene, but was unable to. We are not able to traverse the second holy seal. Wrap this up so we can execute him and go to the
The
next
facts
island.
and the truth are not the same.
Our orders are to investigate before we execute him.
Nenorocito, you're out of your mind.
Don't drag this out. Do your work and let me do mine. Here's my report about last night.
That Labajiu.
And a report on the Labeju's history. Thank you. I will be looking at these. Dr. Doomjazz left his medical report with me as well. Take it. Doomjazz examined Henry. When we found him, we called the doctor. It's standard practice to get him examined. Speak to Doomjazz if you want to know more.
Bye, Nenorocito.
Goodbye.
Oh,
This is Dr. Doomjazz's medical report for Henry. Okay. Syndicate health assessment document. Citizen
got
version.
it.
Examination instructions state that citizens should be examined, but not administer medication or care beyond what is necessary. Y'all are fucked up. Patient's body is strong but fatigued. Shows clear signs of possession, scarring, burns, and arcane sigils. Blood work shows no sign of abnormalities or
That's
intoxication. Patient had visible blood around the mouth. Tests show the blood matches several victims of the council. Did some eating, some chomp chomp.
Here.
Further samples confirmed that blood was ingested via the mouth and within the stomach of the patient, likely ingested during the attack. Patient appears free from mental illness but is suffering from amnesia, a common side effect of demonic possession. Patient has no memory of the decade since his possession. Patient doesn't remember anything about the events of tonight. Collapse most likely due to extreme exhaustion from overexertion.
I hate demons.
During the patient's possession 10 years ago, arcane sigils were seared into his flesh by the possessing demon. These symbols were found drawn in blood at the crime scene. Why weren't they in his flesh this time? Since no exorcism was performed 10 years ago, Henry has been tortured by the demon contained within him. During prior examinations, the patient has complained about the white-hot rage inside of him. The patient's body had the correct dosage of demonic inhibitors. My final assessment is that the demon within the patient managed to overcome the inhibitors at a crucial moment. The patient escaped under the will of the demon with no memory of having
Got it.
Well, everything checks out. Are you really not gonna tell us anymore?
Grand Marshal Akiko.
Yeah, what about your motive? Suspicions. Oh wow, we have a lot of things to talk to you about. It's because we keep putting this off.
Paradise feels wrong.
Do you really believe Henry did this? Every bit of security breached by a citizen?
That labajiu.
Isn't a normal citizen. He's possessed by a demon.
Nenorochito.
Of course I believe he did it. He broke free when I was there and we found him outside of the council building.
Strange.
You don't have any doubts?
Nenorochito.
Are you stupid? Can you think of anyone that has motive for the crime?
Estebune. That labajiu.
Labaju in the cell did it. Don't waste my time.
Sure.
You can't think of anyone else with a motive for killing the council and threatening the entire structure of the Syndicate. What do you think?
Don't test me.
Is that enough?
Bye, Nenorochito.
Goodbye. Fine. What about your motive? We're just gonna keep poking you, Queen. Ooh. Have you got a motive, Akiko?
Frost.
I don't have a motive. I'm a soldier. Soldiers have honor and live to serve. I'll assume that's enough then. Lizzie, does your relationship with Captain Voth have anything to do with
I'll
this?
put your head on a spike.
Ah,
An illicit relationship that got found out would be
Do you
punishable.
want to die?
I'll kill
Got it.
you. Careful.
Paradise feels
You've been
wrong.
asking for the marshals to be inducted, haven't you?
That's a lie, Nenorochito.
It's a reasonable request. We guard these islands. But you've been denied? What if there was an incident that prompted the council to reconsider, if you will? The crime to end all crimes on the eve of Perfect 25, for example.
Estebune.
I admire you, Rosito. You believe so fully in all sorts of little stories and fantasies. It must be nice being so credulous, undaunted
I
by
have
the
a bad feeling about this.
Is that a denial then? Of course. You were found out. You were going to be punished next island for your relationship with your marshals. That gives you a clear motive. Kill the council to protect yourself.
Rahat.
Got it.
Which means you are full of shit. You don't know anything. I live by the rules. I am a woman of honor. We'll see about that. Alibi.
Che.
Have you read my report? Were you listening to what I told
I
you?
need to investigate this.
It doesn't include what you did between Henry escaping and being found.
Nenorochito.
I called a witness when it happened.
Why?
He oversees the end of an island he needed to know. Then I ordered my marshals to secure other syndicate members. What about the council?
Soldiers of honor.
My best marshals were guarding them. They reported in all clear. But then they worked
Do
out.
you want to die?
Is this a joke to you, Nenorochito? Do you want to die by my hand?
The investigator is here.
What did you do next? I went back to the barracks to organize the search for
That
Henry.
labajiu.
I found where he had torn the prison bars apart to escape. The Labeju could have been anywhere. The Holy Seal Marshal stopped responding. That's when we found Henry outside the council building.
Time.
03. That's precise.
Nenorochito.
Being precise is my
Got
job.
it.
Can anyone corroborate this?
Nenorochito.
The word of the Grand Marshal isn't good enough for you? No.
The truth remains obscure.
You have so many motives. You have like 8 motives. An investigator can't go off your word. Witness will confirm the phone call. My marshals will confirm the rest. Witness did confirm
Thank
the phone
you.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Crime cannot hide.
Can I see your phone records?
Frost.
My records are classified. You're refusing to give evidence?
Classified.
Classified.
Got it.
H. Do you know where KHX is? No. He's been missing for
The
several
investigator
days.
is here.
Have you searched for him? What do you think? My marshals conducted a brief search, but we are stretched thin at the end of an island. There are several thousand citizens that need rounding up and taking to the slaughter ritual. Do you have any suspicions about what happened to him? No. If he wants to disappear, then
The
let him.
investigator is here.
Even though a mass murder happened last night. He didn't do it. Henry
I'm
did.
glad to be back.
Of course. Does the doc have a motive for killing the council?
Dracului din gură.
I don't have anything to say about the doctor. Alright. Gonna just... Did you see the doctor last night? I told you he came to examine Henry after we found the Labagao.
Sure.
Labagao. That was after the murder. Did you see him before? No, I was busy. The clinic door. Did you know about a back door in Doom Jazz's clinic?
Frost.
He brought the power grid down a few years ago. When it came back online, that computer blew
You
out.
need to back off.
He was ordered to get the door fixed, but he never did. So that's a yes, you did know about this.
What the hell?
How did he bring down the power? The reality folding drive kicks out an unfathomable amount of power, but the grid is fragile. A finite balance is maintained. A doctor tapped into the HQ's grid for some tests he was doing that needed extra juice. There are official channels to go through to get extra power, but he doesn't care. When he gets excited about something, the Syndicate moves too slowly for him. When he fired up his equipment, the HQ's grid went down. When it came back up, a number of systems blew out and caused chaos. Why wasn't he forced to get the computer fixed?
Nenorocito.
He has a lot of visitors and likes the secrecy. Wasn't in any rush. He smooth talked his way out of it. Yeah, that tracks. I don't believe you saw it. Yeah, okay. I have so much information about this. Let's just go down the line. What can you tell me about the guards at the First Holy Seal? Soldiers of honor. My two most trusted soldiers.
How?
How did Henry get the jump on two highly ranked marshals?
Gurva.
It's easy to judge a monk when you haven't lived through hell. A demon is a vile foe. Unpredictable, frenzied, blood-crazed. My marshals will have fought valiantly, but an unknown foe overcame them. Unknown. Demons come from all corners of the heavens. It is impossible to know how each acts or fights. Why haven't the bodies of the marshals been cleared away? The judge ordered me to leave them for you to investigate. I protested. They deserve better than to be poked at by someone playing detective. Can I see your sword? There had better be a stunning reason why you're asking. I'm checking a lead about the weapon used to murder the man.
Nenorocito.
Do not disgrace their memory by chasing wild theories. Akiko,
Ești pe bune.
here. This sword has seen some use. The blade is nicked. A nicked blade is consistent with the neck wounds on the
Thank you.
marshals. Thank you, Akiko. Do you think the knife used to kill the First Holy Seal marshals was the one taken by Henry? It's like I'm talking to myself sometimes. Of course I do. Can you describe it? It's a smooth-bladed combat knife. It is perfect, huh?
Ooh, the investigator is here.
You're positive about the smoothness of the blade? Oh yeah, she totally killed these dudes. Yes, it hasn't been used before now. My old life became damaged during a training exercise recently. Let's try. Tell me about you and Va. Captain Va. Don't you dare speak about my marshals without proper rank.
The facts and the truth are not the same.
You were in a relationship
Do you
with him.
want to die?
Relationships between myself and the marshals is expressly forbidden. Doesn't mean it didn't
Ce
happen.
dracu.
Watch yourself. A lot of murder has happened on this island. Would anyone notice some Bede's investigator going missing? Me just going after these people and being like, so here's all the stuff that makes it seem very likely that you were involved in this murder. I took a blood sample from the dead marshals. They don't match marshal records.
I'll kill you.
What Rahas is this
I
now?
don't like this.
I don't think those dead bodies are marshals. That is total rahat, investigator.
I don't like this.
Starlight ran the samples, are you saying? I'm saying Starlight got it wrong. Little pocket calculator is wrong. Starlight connects to the central Syndicate. It's wrong. Why didn't you let Doom and Jazz examine the dead bodies of the martial guards? There was no need. They had been carved up by the monster, who, as I keep saying, is in custody. Surely even the investigation freak can see it's an open and shut case. If it was, I wouldn't be here. How did Henry manage to escape? Blah, blah, blah.
I have a bad feeling
Okay.
about this.
How did the bars of the bridge get broken? Henry broke through them. Liar. What if he didn't?
Got it.
Starlight's analysis of the residue in the bars says that it was explosives. Starlight is wrong. Your little machine is trying to analyze something demonic and doing the best it can. How did Henry escape if he was sedated? He played us. The inhibitors needed to be stronger. The report says they were the correct
Pull up.
dosage. What if the demon tricked us, though? The demon could slow Henry's body down, the dosage of inhibitors needed would be lower. The demon maintains this act, and then when the time comes, he drops the pretense and makes his move. Is that likely? As likely as anything. Not that it matters, it is what happened. Why were you on your own when Henry escaped? It was just one pull-up prisoner that was supposed to be sedated. Sounds like arrogance. You sound like you have a death
Is
wish.
this a fact?
You broke
or a
procedure,
truth?
why?
Rahat.
I'll admit hubris, my marshals do not come to the next island with us. No. They engage in their final prayers. I wanted them to have one last moment of happiness before being wiped out. Soldiers aren't supposed to know happiness when duty has to be done.
Nenorochito.
Okay.
Nenorochito.
What do you know about the second holy seal? Nothing.
Nenorochito, you're out of your mind.
Okay. Let's have a conversation. Got
I'll
enough?
kill you.
You're going to die. Humor me. Having fun playing detective. Having fun playing
Do
soldier.
you want to die?
I'll cut you from head to crotch.
Sure.
Violence doesn't solve everything. It would in this case. Hurry up and let's get this investigation done. I'm waiting for you to tell me what I already know. What you already know?
Labaju.
The Labadou in the cage, she needs a bullet through his
Crime is
eyes.
repulsive.
That hasn't been
I
proven yet.
was born to investigate.
An investigator needs to soak in the facts, breathe in the evidence, savor the test.
Dracului din gură.
I don't care.
This has been delightful.
Thanks, Akiko. This has been delightful. Alright, bye. May your night be bright. May you reach the moon. Alright, where Henry started from, according to Akiko. Means he broke 3 at 23:52 and was found at 03. Starlight can crunch the numbers.
That's weird.
The distance and times don't match
That's
up.
strange.
He couldn't have broken free, made it to the penthouse, breached all for holy seals, killed the council, and have got to the penthouse entrance to be found in the time of the flames. Hey.
Henry Division.
Hello, prisoner dude. Who the fuck are you?
Henry Division.
Henry Division, the prime suspect. A citizen born to Rena Division 27 years ago, father unknown. Arrested multiple times by the marshals for assault, robbery, arson, and torture. Imprisoned in the desolation cell after killing his mother during his possession 10 years ago. Intellectual and creative, but finds it difficult to apply himself. He struggled through his schoolwork until he became aware of demonology and suddenly developed an interest in occult mathematics. I said, who the fuck are you?
Got it.
An investigator. I want to ask you some questions about last
Wanna
night.
have a nice little chat?
Okay, let's have a chat, a talk, a nice
Sure.
sit down. Let's start with your history. You're a citizen born on this island 27
That's
years ago.
strange.
No one knows who your father is. That's weird, isn't it, investigator? You Syndicate fucks control this whole island, but you don't know who fucked my mom. No DNA check, no
I
nothing.
don't like this.
You've been in and out of the Marshall Detention Center more times than anyone
Love
else.
dies. All that
Fighting,
remains
robbery, arson,
are the
torture, and then
facts.
finally you got locked up when you were possessed by a demon and killed your mother.
I have a bad feeling about
You
this.
broke the law and started communicating with the
Crime
gods.
cannot
An
hide.
act forbidden because the psychic pathways open to allow demons, other alien races, to enter our reality and corrupt the island. I grew up without a dad on a synthetic island in a different reality, forced to worship gods that want to rule the world. I needed something to do. And some fuck started giving me books on demonology. Said I was a gifted astral communicator or some shit.
Ooh, the investigator is here.
You don't know who it
Of
was.
course!
Are you fucking deaf? Sounds like I need to look into this.
Spent my entire
Sounds like I need to look into
Don't
this.
test me.
I'm going to need a drink after this. I'm
Is
going
this a
to.
fact?
Stop
the
it.
investigator is here.
You couldn't handle communicating with cosmic beings, and a demon possessed you. Cosmic radiation poured out of you, and now we have the dead zone. A demon possessed you, and you killed your mother and Grace Bloodlines, our chief exorcist. Whatever you fucking say. I understand this is hard. You're the victim of
I
possession.
must be the bad guy, right?
The fuck do you understand? I don't even know you. What do you know
I
about
have a bad
demons?
feeling about this.
I used to be the head of the Paradise Psycho Unit. My investigations touched on gods and demons. Used to be. I let a god get into my head. He almost wiped the islands out. I was exiled. Poetic! 2 lawbreakers! What could go wrong? Are we going to fucking get down to some actual questioning or what?
Got it.
Before that, tell me about the demon inside you. Everybody has a demon inside you, right? I've had 10 years of this fucking thing writhing around inside me. Glass shards in my bones, blood boiling, flesh on fire. It's been a real fucking party. How does the demon make you act? My body used to be real pretty. Now look at me. I'm a gray husk covered in this demonic shit. These sigils constantly cook my flesh. 10 years of the stench of my own flesh being seared. I'd say it's had a pretty negative impact on my outlook and behavior. You got any fucking questions or what?
Henry,
New
your
case file.
possession.
Alright. Looks good. Let's talk to you, bro. Ooh. Lots of things. I can't ask you about allies of people you fully have never met. Interesting. What's your motive for killing the council? Is that a joke,
I'm
investigator?
shocked. Stunned.
You said to get fuckstruck as citizens from the real world onto your shithole island and treat us like
I
cattle.
spent my
We
entire
worship your god while you leech our psychic energy. I hate you. I hate the Syndicate. I hate your council. That's my motive. I don't know about anyone else. Especially all you Syndicate fucks. Valid.
Sure.
What about the demon inside of you?
wants to see this island.
I can feel it on the edge of my consciousness all the time. Shadows on the periphery of my
Don't
vision.
test me.
Did it make you kill? This demon is pure rage. White hot scalding rage has burned my mind for a decade. The demon wants me to see this island scorched into nothing. I'd do anything to placate him. Did you kill the council and marshal guards? I don't remember. I've been told I killed them. Maybe I did. My memory is fleeting, like mirages in the desert that disappear when I get close. Do you remember anything about the night? New Night.
What the hell?
New Night, the warrior goddess? My mind is like a desert covered in fog. I can see things coming out of the fog, and sometimes I can walk towards them and latch on. My memory about last night is different. There's nothing there, no fog, no desert, just an expanse. Except I can see New Night.
Sure.
Did someone say New Night to you last night? No, I don't know, maybe? I think I saw the goddess. You saw a goddess. Was this before or after you were found by the marshals? I don't fucking know, investigator. Why don't you go and find out instead of making me do your job? This island has lots of statues of the gods. I need to find the statue of New Night. She's the goddess of warriors. The barracks might be a good place to start. Okay. Yeah, doesn't know who this person is. Did you kill the martial guards outside the council building? Yes. No.
Mind is like
If you say so.
covered in fog.
No memory. Are you beginning to get the hint? Henry, did you go through the second holy seal? The
The
what?
investigator is
Did you
here.
did you go to a plateau on a barely known planet in space to get to the council last night? Can you even hear yourself? What the fuck does any of that mean? No memory? You're beginning to get it. Tell me how you escaped. You fucking tell me, investigator! This poor dude, I feel so bad for him.
Desert covered in fog.
You remember anything before you escaped? Agitation, screams inside me. They woke me up for the first time in years.
That's weird.
Screams. There was a burst of them. My whole body felt like it was on fire. I wanted to burst out of this
Wow.
world. Any idea what caused this? It's your fucking job to find out. I know what caused this. It's a psychic screams. Good for you, King. Tell me about how you ended up like this. What's to tell? A bored kid finds its calling, gets
Got
punished
it.
for it. That calling being illegally communicating with gods and causing a demonic invasion. We all need a hobby. And now I'm here. Yeah. Did you see the Grand Marshal last night? Of course I saw her. She was supposed to execute me, right? I don't remember a fucking thing, but that was what's supposed to happen, right? Okay.
Of course!
The doctor. Did you see the doctor last night? You don't remember that. He was fully here. Oh, I do know about that. Loads, I know so much. My mind is bursting with knowledge about whatever the fuck you're talking about. Fuck off. Fair. Valid. Let's vibe with the demonic possessed guy. Let's
The
talk.
investigator is here.
I need to know more about you. Tell me about your childhood. Oh, you know, the usual. Enslaved, forced to worship nightmare gods, that kind of
I
thing.
must be the bad guy, right?
How do you people sleep at night? You abduct us from the real world and use us as cattle. It is messed up. This whole thing is messed
What?
up. What?
Sure.
24 islands and we're no closer to our goal. All we've done is churn through citizens and lose each other to murder and demonic invasions. So why are you here? The cycle will continue one way or another. I'm trying to make it the best I can. Whatever. Alright, have fun being imprisoned and tortured and whatever the fuck.
Grand Marshal Backer Code 14.
Can I talk to you about what Henry just said? Yes, I can. Do I care enough to do that before saving? Ah, yeah. There's nothing in your report about Henry seeing New Night during his escape.
Durfa!
The babbling of a Lavagao possessed by a demon. There's only one statue of New Night on this island, correct? Why does it
When
matter?
love dies.
Where is it? Why do you
I have
care?
a bad feeling about
Just
this.
answer the question. The statue is in the barracks. The goddess only gives her attention to
The
soldiers.
investigator is here.
So how could Henry have seen it last night? He couldn't have. The barracks are secure. He's spouting gibberish to confuse you.
Crime cannot hide.
I'm just going to ask, Akiko, did you take him through the barracks last night?
Nenorochito!
Are you out of your mind? Do you think I helped him escape? Nonsense. Goodbye. If Henry went through the HQ to get to the council building, why didn't he show up on the HQ logs? The nightmare computer at the entrance to the HQ didn't log Henry entering.
Nenorochito!
Crime is repulsive.
The logs contradict your report. What do you want me to say? I don't know how those things work. Maybe there's a malfunction. Maybe find a way to
I
slip
don't
past.
like this.
Does that seem likely?
Touch Dracula
Stop asking me
Dingura.
to do your job. What do you know about Henry's demonic
You need
possession?
to back off.
What do you want? I told you about his possession. Why wasn't he executed when he was arrested? He posed a threat to the island. Are you stupid? The demon wouldn't die with him. The demon would escape into the
Sure.
island. So why execute him at the end of the island? Why not let him blink out of existence with the old island? That's the way it is. Criminals get theirs. He's a victim. He didn't want the demon to possess him. What do you know? You sure you didn't invite the demon in? You got deceived by a god. Don't forget that. Alright. Glad to know we both mutually dislike each other. I'm just gonna say over here. And then that will be the end of stream today. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. And I'm very interested with this game, and the society of it all. The society of it all. It's very interesting.